The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Yuja was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Yusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Yuja, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
I'm Princess Rosa Cassette Delete of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking. Tragic.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yusian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out and set the dogs on me.
Welcome back to Let's Play Ace Combat 7.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Osean Federation and all countries on the Yusian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Usea. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advanced element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Scofields Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
So, yep, it's another early game Ace Combat. This is basically a tutorial mission.
Just
Here's
a bunch of easy pickings there on the ground. Just shoot a vehicle, you're done. In and out.
Yeah, so here's our first ground targets of the game. But anyways, before we get going on that, let's just take a quick little detour to the aircraft tree now that we've quote-unquote unlocked it by beating the first mission, although as you can clearly see here, by the fact that, like, everything is visible and doesn't have a $ amount attached to it, I've gone through and just ground the shit out of the game and have unlocked everything, and I mean everything.
Good lord, man. Why would you do this to yourself?
Because I gotta show it all off for the LP.
I know, but I wasn't gonna force you to do it. I would have just looked the other way.
But yeah, so anyways, this is, at the time of this recording anyway, the currently fully existing version of the aircraft tree, although it was just announced, like, literally yesterday that we're getting 2 more DLC packs, so it would not surprise me if between now and when this LP goes up, or when it's even finished, the aircraft tree is going to be expanding a tiny bit. So that down there, that's the multiplayer section of the aircraft tree. That's, again, locked until like, you actually start doing multiplayer, and then you'll be able to spend credits either both in single player and multiplayer on anything you want in the aircraft tree. And yeah, basically it's effectively like just like the aircraft tree in Ace Combat Infinity. Like, you have to basically buy your way through it to the end with the goal of getting the Wyvern at the very end there.
You played through essentially 20 Ace Combat games to clear this thing out.
Oh god, yeah, you have to, like, go through, like, if you don't want to delve into multiplayer, you've got to go through the game at least probably 4 or 5 times to get enough MRP to clear the entire tree, because it, like, literally takes, like, tens of millions. Or, otherwise, you're basically forced to just grind out multiplayer, because multiplayer pays out a hell of a lot more than it does, or than single player does.
I love this guy. Got the goofy smile underneath there.
Yeah. So yeah, I've calculated it out, by the way, how much MRP you need to clear both halves of the aircraft tree. So, I mentioned this coming up in, like, long day, but clearing the single player aircraft tree takes 18,574,000 MRP.
Ugh.
And generally you only get, like, probably 1 or 2 million MRP per single run of the game. And clearing both the single and multiplayer halves of the aircraft tree takes 32 million MRP.
Destroy the target. but HQ has made
He works hard for his Ace Combat, folks, okay?
Oh, yeah, there's a reason why the second the PC version came out, I just grabbed a trainer and just broke the game wide open to clear the aircraft tree that way.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man, I did this legit the first time. I'm not doing it a second time.
Yeah. I remember I'd come home from work and I just like put in some time in multiplayer and instantly regret it.
Oh god, yeah.
H2 locking.
Although it's weird because like Ace Combat 3 sold like 3 million copies across like the various platforms that it's been released on, and yet multiplayer is a fucking wasteland for some reason.
Target destroyed.
I don't know. I mean, I wonder sometimes if it was just. I don't know how many times you can go into a match and just get stomped, you know, repeatedly before you just get tired of it.
Oh god, yeah. Especially because like everyone's playing with like the level 2 parts that they've unlocked because like they've been playing for like since the damn game was released.
Yeah. I mean, it's still fun, and it'll teach you how to not be quite as predictable as you fly, but whew, yeah, there's a learning curve.
Take them down. Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what
Old
side.
Clown,
The newest IFF is connected
Yep.
to
our good buddy.
satellites. It's reliable, so trust your radars. That radar was just about to go online.
So yeah, here's Ace Combat being like slightly winkingly cynical about like the idea of a clean war.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, everything's automated now. You can trust the computer. Nothing's ever gonna come crashing down into like civilian territory and cause like collateral damage.
I'd like a good clean war, please. No blows below the belt, thank you.
Sometimes use their lock on to their targets too. Getting out of rock. Breaking.
You know, every time we do these, I am reminded, and I feel like I probably say it every time as well, I feel like such a schlub, like, playing in the, you know, heads-up display. Because dang, this game is, like, really pretty.
Okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, no, I can't stand the HUD because, like, you know, I play these games because I want to see my plane doing cool shit, so...
Yeah.
Even though it's, like, more efficient and, like, you know, all the pros play in HUD mode.
Well, not all pros, because I ain't one. But, no, it's just, I do appreciate the attention to detail. And I guess they've always been pretty good about it within the technology they were working with at the time.
Yeah. Like, that was, like, one of the things that I, like, constantly praised, like, Ace Combat X about was, just the fact that, like, for a PSP game, it had a gigantic roster and every plane had a fully modeled cockpit.
Yeah.
Friendly down.
Yeah, they pushed that little thing.
He's a lovely pile of scrap.
So wait, they mentioned, like, you know, be careful with, like, debris hitting the residential areas, right?
Yep.
Alright, well, just shooting choppers out of the sky and
Yeah.
cross your
Oh
fingers.
yeah, yep. Oh yeah, that's the thing that's, you know, like, it's a little more smart about it than, like, Ace Combat 5 was. Like, Ace Combat 5 was, methinks the game doth protest too much, like, with its, like, peace-nicking and, like, its moralizing, but, like, you know, like I said, like, here they're a bit more grown up and, you know, cynical and, like, winking about it, like, you know, like, you can very easily infer, like, yeah, the Ocean military has a bunch of fucking bullshit up its head that very clearly does not play out the way it thinks it does in reality.
Ooh, wow. Well, I think, counterpoint, your teammate's name is Clown, so, you know.
Oh, God, yeah, that's the thing, that you know, Clown is, like, pretty, like, with it in terms of, like, you know, what is going on, but yeah, no, he's also kind of, like, he lives up to his name in certain ways. And I was gonna do this whole thing about just, like, mercilessly ripping on him, but, like, I just found out that, well, no, I didn't just found out, but, like, I've learned that his voice actor died of, like, I'm pretty sure it was COVID, like, earlier this year, around, like, January or so, like, I kind of feel bad now ripping on him.
The interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out.
Well, egg on my face, I guess. Oh, that sucks, though.
Yeah, like, I think Brad Venable was his name. And, like, he was in a whole bunch of modern video games, like, Devil May Cry 5, and...
Yeah, his name sounds really familiar.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he plays the sassy bird in Devil May Cry 5, and he was Clown in Ace Combat 7, and yeah, unfortunately, yeah, he, like, I don't think it was COVID that killed him, but, like, he had COVID, and I think, as a side effect of it, like, something happened.
Yeah. I mean, COVID rarely helps. I don't know a lot about it, but I know enough to say that, oh, okay. Alright.
Jesus, man.
What was that?
That's gonna be something that is gonna be a plot point much later in the game. So for now, don't worry about it.
Well, okay. No surprises. Oh.
Oh, fuck, it's the Heron shot.
Honestly, it gave me that exact vibe. Like every time I see those trucks.
Like, I was expecting there to be, like, a fruit logo on it or something.
Right?
Like...
Yeah. Where are the rotors?
Oh, Christ.
You're clear to engage.
Yeah, could you imagine, like, the fucking murder quadcopter in this game? Like, it fucking looked like it came out of an Ace Combat game in the original video.
Yeah. It's the crossover everybody forgot they wanted.
Like, the Heron shot, like, their promo videos, like, exist in a fantasy world where, like, Ace Combat level technology exists.
It exists in a world where somebody thinks Belka is, like, small time. Like, really? Come on, man. You can do so much more.
Oh, God. And, like, the thing about the Heron shot that I love is, like, the final video that they published was an alleged proof of concept of, like, their insane rotor technology, like, in, like, at the actual, like, an actual real-world demo.
Yeah.
And, like, it was just, like, 30 seconds of, like, this herky-jerky, like, yellow robot articulating arm just, like, literally just, like, going and just sort of falling to pieces, and then they deleted their YouTube page after that.
You know, there was one guy who bought into all the videos who took, like, a big sigh of relief saying, oh god, we're safe. You know, I feel kind of bad. Because, you know, they're like, these are enemy drones. It could very well just be, like, the local RC, like, remote control club, you know? Just taking their little handhelds out for a spin.
When the fuck did the local RC club get a hold of Sidewinder missiles, though?
Do not underestimate a hobbyist, okay?
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
Oh god, like, I was so rusty the first time I played this game, it took me like 15 minutes to take out all the drones.
Yeah, because they do fly differently.
Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
Yeah, I think so, maybe. One blew up right over a house.
You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
Yeah, just wash your hands of that responsibility.
Well, rather straightforward mission for a straightforward game, I'd say.
Yep, no, I see no complications ahead of us in the future.
No, just pretty standard Ace Combat.
Yeah, well, we're off to a rockin' start so far.
I did not expect to bring up or have the stupid fruit stand killer robots brought up, but yeah, no, that fits.